The air grew heavy. A palpable blanket of cold settled over Churchill Road as twilight surrendered to night. Streetlights flickered, casting long dancing shadows that twisted familiar sights into menacing phantoms. The bustling energy of Addis Ababa faded. An unsettling stillness descended. Three friends, Samuel, Elias, and Selamawit, walked along the quiet street. Their laughter from earlier had died down, replaced by an uneasy silence. They were on their way home from a late-night study session. The familiar route suddenly felt different, alien. Each footstep echoed in the stillness. A low, mournful howl pierced the silence, sending shivers down their spines. Dogs were common in the city, but this sound was primal, filled with a sorrow that chilled them to their core. They exchanged uneasy glances. No one dared to speak of the fear that had begun to creep into their hearts. As they passed a crumbling stone wall, Selamawit swore she saw a figure watching them. A tall, gaunt silhouette, barely discernible in the flickering light. When she blinked, it was gone. "Did you see that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Samuel and Elias, their senses now on high alert, scanned their surroundings. "Nothing. It's just your imagination," Samuel said, trying to sound reassuring. But his voice wavered, betraying his own unease. They quickened their pace, their eyes darting from side to side, searching for any sign of the figure Selamawit had seen. A low whisper seemed to drift on the breeze, indecipherable, yet laced with malice. It brushed against their ears, sending goosebumps erupting across their skin. The streetlights chose that moment to plunge them into darkness. Complete and utter blackness enveloped them. Panic welled in their chests, constricting their throats. "Stay close!" Elias shouted, his voice high-pitched with fear. They stumbled forward, their hands outstretched, blindly searching for each other in the darkness. A cold wind whipped through the street, swirling around them like an unseen specter. The mournful howl rose again, closer this time, echoing their terror back at them. Then, as quickly as it had descended, the darkness lifted. The streetlights flickered back to life. They found themselves standing in front of Selamawit's house, their faces pale, their breaths coming in ragged gasps. Relief washed over them, quickly followed by a lingering sense of dread. The street was empty, the only sound was the now distant howl, fading into the night. "I'll never forget this night," Selamawit whispered, her voice still trembling. They said their goodbyes, their words hurried and hushed. As she turned to unlock her front door, she felt a cold breath on the back of her neck. A shiver racked her body. She spun around, her heart pounding in her chest. Nothing but the feeling of being watched, the certainty that they were not alone, clung to her like a shroud.